I do want to touch base on your time at SourceFed. Can you tell me about what the experiences was like auditioning for that hosting role on that channel?
So funny. That audition was so funny. So at the time, I still wasn't really aware of the digital content scene. I was in LA auditioning for television and film and commercials. And really my joking rule at the time was, if it's a job that pays and I get to keep all my clothes on, I will take it. Like saying, even if they want to put me in a Barney suit and have me dance around, like, I don't care. I didn't have like this like crazy prideful, I will only take certain roles, like whatever. If it paid and I got to keep my clothes on, I was happy to take the job. I was waiting tables at the time for a long time out here while I was auditioning. And then right at about the time I got SourceFed, I had been working for Samsung's IT department as a marketing rep, which was crazy job that I just happened to stumble into because I liked tech. I just liked tech. And they were like, hey, we like how you talk about tech. Would you want to like talk about our tech? And so I started doing that job, which was very funny. But yeah, I was kind of loving that job, but still just auditioning. And I went to an audition that was a random Saturday morning auditions, which usually more like non-union and kind of, the more up and coming grassroots kind of projects might hold auditions on Saturdays and Sundays. Whereas you're like very professional, your agent has to get you this audition. We're Monday through Friday business hours. So it was a Saturday morning audition that I submitted for myself. I just happened to find it online. And it said untitled news show, hosting job. So I was like, oh, okay, rad. Didn't say what it was or anything like that, just untitled news host. And it said, so then I got the email that like, hey, you've been selected for an audition. Here's your time. Please come to this address. And can you prepare 3 news stories? And I was like, I went to school for theater. I'm not a journalist or anything, but they kind of gave us like 5 news articles or something to choose from. And it said pick 3 and, write them on index cards or whatever. So I picked 3 of them and I kind of scratched some stuff out on index cards and I went in and did my index card news stories to camera. And then they started asking me questions. Like normally, you kind of, there's either an interview and then you do your read, or you do your read and then there's an interview. So I did my read. And then, and they seemed like, okay, it wasn't like, wow, we love you, which rarely happens. Most of the time they have poker face in auditions. But I did my read and they, seemed okay with it. And then they started asking me questions like, what kind of TV shows do you watch? And I was like, that's unusual for a news job. But sure, I'll play ball. What kind of books do you read? Do you ever play video games? What's your favorite video game? And I was like, this is the strangest interview for a news job ever. But they happened to be asking me questions about stuff that I genuinely liked and have liked my entire life anyway. So, I didn't need to prepare the answers to those questions. I already had them. And then at one point in there, too, they asked, do you know anything about technology? And I, was out working my Samsung job that day. So I had a bag full of like tablets and phones ready to go. I was like, well, which of these do you want me to tell you about? And like fanned out a bunch of gadgets. And again, so I think it was a very like right place at the right time when opportunity meets preparation kind of situation. I was very ready for everything they were asking me and I had no idea. And so I left that audition and I thought, I don't know what that job actually was for, but I think I nailed it. And so then either later that day or the next day, I got a call saying, hey, we'd like you to come in for a screen test. And I came in for a screen test and I thought I would just be, reading a host copy that writers had written because that's traditionally the way hosting jobs work. And instead I came in and they were like, did you bring a laptop? And I said, no. And so they were like, well, we'd like you to write a news story, a script for you and a co-host. And if we like it, we'll record it and see how it goes. And if we like it, maybe it'll go live on the internet. And I was like, what? So, it was very much a like thrown into the deep end of the pool situation. And, I picked a news story and I tried to write a funny script about it for me and another person who ended up being Elliot Morgan with me that day on my screen test. And we filmed it together and they put it online. They liked it enough to put it online. And they said, we're going to post this video. What's your Twitter handle? And I said, oh, I don't have one of those. I can barely keep up with my Facebook. And they were like, great, we need you to make a Twitter handle right now. And so I said, okay. So again, just really being thrown in the deep end of the pool. And so I made a Twitter handle and my video went live. And like a week or two later, they called me in and said, one of our hosts needs a day off. Can you come in as a fill-in? And then that happened for a little bit until they said, hey, we're looking to launch a second channel that's specifically nerd themed, and we'd like you to come on full time and start helping us develop content for it. So at that point, it kind of all clicked why they were asking me all those questions in my audition so many months ago about video games and books and tech and TV. I was like, oh, now I see. It didn't make much sense when I was thinking about SourceFed proper, but once I knew they were planning on launching SourceFed Nerd, it made a lot more sense. Because like I said, I didn't have any kind of degree in journalism or politics or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, that was really my entry point into digital content creation. It was the moment that I realized that this was a thing that you could do and produce yourself, and it could be a career. So then I had to make the decision of, do I leave my very stable Samsung marketing job to do this very unstable content creation thing? And I thought about it and I thought, you know what? I didn't move to Los Angeles to do marketing. I moved here to be an entertainer. So I know this is a huge risk, but I'm going to do it. And it's worked out well, I'm happy to say, now almost a decade later. But yeah, it was very scary at the time.
Hey there, thank you so much for watching this excerpt of the Videocraft show presented by Video Husky. If you're a content creator that struggles to organize script or ideas for your videos, I've got a resource for you. You can get a copy of our free script template. Using it can help you structure your videos and save you hours of time from filming in the process. To get it, all you have to do is just scroll down on this video, find the link in the description, and subscribe to our email list. From there, it'll get delivered straight to your inbox right after you sign up. And by the way, if you're enjoying these videos, can you do us just a quick favor and hit the like button before you go? And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel too, to stay up to date with all the content that we're creating here on this channel. And finally, be sure to tune into the Videocraft show presented by Video Husky on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever it is that you get your podcasts. We've got links in the description down below. If you want to watch or listen to the full episode, just tap the video right next to me over here, and that'll take you to the entire episode in which this excerpt is from. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.